came here in 2006, and at the beginning we were working in the peace with different groups, NGOs in peace building, and from there we moved on, and we called different groups together in our program. We call people of different kabila, different ethnic communities, different age group, men, women, so all types of diversity together to sit down and have conversation in our program that we call Conversations for Social Change. So our Conversations for Social Change has 4 principles, and we explain it to all the participants. The first principle being that of spirituality. That's why we always start our time together in our conversation, groups of 10 people or less, with silence, with 5 minutes of silence to bring our spirit together in this space, to create a safe space also, so that everybody can come together. And the second principle is service. The third principle is nonviolence. And another principle is diversity.
The other thing is we do not have tables in front of us because we believe that kind of cuts our relationship. We want to have an open conversation with one another. So we sit together without tables in front of us, but a small table we call our hospitality table. It's like inviting friends into your living room or into your home. You have a nice table with nice, and on that table we put a candle or a lamp, and we light it to represent the fire, because Africans sit around the fire and tell stories. Of course, we can't set a fire in the middle of the room or whatever, but we have some representation of the fire that we sit around. So we feel all of this is important to creating that safe space. Marita talked about it this morning. Sia and Zhang mentioned it. We want to create that safe space where everybody feels welcome to make their contribution. Because we feel the most important thing is every single person, everybody has a voice, everybody has a contribution to make. So we do it in 2 stages. The first is, of course, we've started with silence. That gets everybody completely present in the room and to that place where we can share on the human spirit. I'd like to appreciate Doctor's input this morning on dialogue, because very much of what he said is what we use and what we encourage in our process, but we stay away from the word dialogue and we use conversation. Because for me, dialogue is like invokes 2 sides. But there's so many other voices in the room. So we want to encourage all the voices to come forward. Even if we're working with a group that might have had a conflict between 2 sides, we need all the people in the community to come together. So it's a conversation among all the voices. So the other thing we do is we use a talking piece so that the person speaking picks up the talking piece. It could be as simple as this. We actually have made a stick that says talking stick to use in our groups. We've used small balls before. It's just something that the person can pick up, and we know that person has the floor, and that's who we're listening to. So everybody's listening to that person. And we also use agreements. You know, you go to some things and they say we have to have rules and regulations. We're all adults, and we can agree to have a conversation in a certain way. So we invite people to agree to use certain attitudes, like an open mind, to suspend your judgment. And then, of course, we ask people, the group, what the last thing I'd like to share is that, as the doctor said, it has to be ongoing. Our conversations, we come together in a group for about 3 hours. Then that group goes away. They come back in 2, 3, or 4 weeks. The same 10 people come and sit together again, and they do that 6 times. So this group can meet together for anywhere from 4 to 6 months. Because you hear a little bit, you go away, you reflect on it, you interact with other people, you come back and you have another conversation. It's a way of building trust, coming back to the conversation, being able to stay through the hard places. Because sometimes there's going to be hard places, we go away a little bit, we come back.
Only 10 people or less, and so therefore we needed a number of groups. So like Sia said, every day we would have groups coming, and we wanted to be a neutral place, so we asked the government to give us either the place, a hall within the government compound where the chief is, or a community hall. It was neither a church or a mosquito, the mosque. And so we found a common place, and we also asked people, because we knew that it would be important if people could sit down for a meal together. We usually in Nairobi or other places, in a conversation of 3 hours in between, we usually have chai together. But it was important for us that somehow we make it so that people would stay and eat together a meal after we have had our conversation. So we asked people if they would bring whatever they have. Because one of the foundation principle of our program was service. We didn't have any. We said that we came to give service, and we asked that all the people of Tana, if they have a spirit, for them to use their spirit of service to their community, to come to our program that is run by private donation, so we didn't have any money to give anybody except for the exact transportation. If it was 50 shillings, we would only refund 50 shilling. We didn't have any sitting fee, we didn't have anything other than that. And people agreed to come for the exact amount of transportation that was needed. And we also asked, would you please bring either milk, or if you're from the community that pastoralist community, to bring either milk, or to bring, if you're from an agriculturalist community, to bring your produce, to bring mboga, to bring vegetables. And we would then buy these, and then we would cook a meal for, at the end of our conversation, we would sit down and eat together. Because relationship is key to our program, Mahusiano. We knew that we needed time to go and create relationship with the people there in Tana River. So what we did was, through the chiefs, we started going to villages. We started going to one village after another. We visited 2 divisions, the Kipini division and the Tarasa division. So from there, we went to visit Chamwanamuma, we visited Nduru, Semika. From village to village, we were able to have somebody either that we knew through personal contact or through the government, and we went and sat down and talked to the village elders. We did this not once, but we did it twice, 3 times. We kept going back. The first time we came just to introduce ourselves, and then to introduce that this is what we have. Would it be of help? And we asked for the opinions of the villagers.